Hi, Shomi. Nice to connect with you once again. Really great that you could take out time. आईपीएल में तो धमाका हो रहा है ऑक्शन में इतने गजब के नाम, इतने करोड़ों रुपए, बहुत ही ज्यादा एक्साइटिंग। तो हम लोग सोच ही रहे थे वी शुड डू समथिंग कनेक्ट और कुछ एनालाइज करते हैं। तो फिर थैंक्स फॉर जॉइनिंग इन। हाउ आर यू? हाउ आर थिंग्स बीन?
थिंग्स हैव बीन लाइक एब्सोल्युटली अमेजिंग। और ऑक्शन जिस तरह से हुआ है पिछले 2 दिनों से, इतने सारे नए नाम्स आए हैं, इतने सारे मार्की प्लेयर्स, देयर हैज बीन सो मच ऑफ एक्शन अराउंड इट। तो आईपीएल ऑक्शन का रिएक्शन वीडियो ना बनाना क्राइम होता। तो वी हैव कम बैक विथ आर रिएक्शन ऑफ द आईपीएल ऑक्शन। और किससे शुरुआत करें?
Great. So auction का reaction, let us do it with CSK. That will be super exciting. हमेशा with MS Dhoni, that is where my heart lies, to be very honest. I know you love Kohli, लेकिन मेरा दिल तो धोनी पे ही अटका रहता है. So CSK would be a
देखो,
great
तुम्हारे
pick.
पास अभी बहुत टाइम है धोनी के पास अटका रहने के लिए। आई थिंक यू हैव लाइक ईयर्स ऑफ ईयर्स विद गोइंग अहेड। तो ठीक है, इट्स फेयर इनफ। वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट हाउ डू लाइक what is our true feeling about MS Dhoni's retention, etc. at maybe a little ahead of the IPL. Like really looking at how his fitness is, whether he will be actually be able to contribute more than those 7 balls or not. तो ये सब कुछ बात करेंगे। लेकिन फिलहाल फिलहाल सीएसके का जो ऑक्शन रहा है, एज पर यू, गुड बैड अगली?
सीएसके का ऑक्शन इज वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग, शोमी, वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग। पहले अपफ्रंट देख के लगता है कि देखो दे मिस्ड आउट अ फ्यू थिंग्स, कि बॉलिंग उतनी स्ट्रांग है कि नहीं, क्या सोचा है, उनके प्लेयर्स कैसे हैं। लेकिन देखो सीएसके का मेन कंपोनेंट ये है ना कि इंडिविजुअल प्लेयर in CSK and individual players somewhere else are actually two different individuals। मतलब ये सिर्फ सीएसके ही कर पाता है कि अजिंक्य रहाणे को लेके एक सुपर ब्लास्टिंग बैट्समैन बना देता है, दैट इज सीएसके। तो जिसकी वजह से आई थिंक इस टीम को एनालाइज करना बहुत ही डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है, क्योंकि यू कांट रियली यूज द रेगुलर मेट्रिक विच यू टिपिकली डू टू एनालाइज अ प्लेयर और इट्स T20 परफॉर्मेंस एटसेट्रा, क्योंकि वो सीएसके में आता है भगवान जाने। मतलब यू लुक एट द श्रीलंकन फास्ट बॉलर, वो बस वो सीएसके में इतना अच्छा परफॉर्म करता है। तो दैट इज वेयर इट इज, वेयर आई थिंक इट इज चैलेंजिंग। लेकिन मुझे लगता है बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग पिक है। आई वॉज लुकिंग एट देयर टीम, देयर स्क्वाड, एंड थोड़ा बिफोर दिस रिकॉर्डिंग आई वॉज ट्राइंग टू पुट टुगेदर कि क्या प्रोबेबल स्क्वाड्स हो सकते हैं। तो बहुत ही I'm very fascinated, and as always, I think always a contender to be there in the uh, top four. तुम बताओ।
आई थिंक यस, एब्सोल्युटली कंटेंडर फॉर टॉप 4। तो आई थिंक मैंने जितना पूरा ऑक्शन देखा, आई वुड, इफ आई हैव टू रेट सीएसके's ऑक्शन, pretty decent auction. Or see, in IPL everybody wants to make the maximum out of home, right? They want to get that home advantage, and Chepauk is well known as being fortress. So from that point of view, I think CSK has built a squad to maximize that home advantage. तो चिपॉक पे हमेशा हमने ये देखा है, barring last year of course, that it has been very spin friendly, and we have seen how aggressive CSK has been to get those spin bowling options right up their alley, right? जैसे उन्होंने नूर के लिए, when they went behind Noor, I think 10 crore odd they have spent on Noor, and makes absolute sense because they really wanted to build up that spin weaponry. One clear exclusion in that definitely is Mitchell Santner, but क्योंकि वो middle order में power hitting भी देते थे और good spin bowling option थे, but as soon as they got back Ashwin, with Jaddu and Ashwin being in that squad, I think they really didn't need a Santner out there. But saying that, I think they have fairly built up a good squad for those for depending on their conditions. 7 matches, 7 matches odd in home conditions. If they are able to win some 5, 6 out of that, they will have a very great advantage going into the tournament. बाकी रहा आपके जो और 5, 6, 7 मैचेस और जो रहते हैं, I think I'm a little worried about that. That how are they going to tackle that? Because if you really look into even their batters, they are also very spin heavy, dominant batters. Be it your Shivam Dube, be it your Hooda, be it your Rahul Tripathi. I think all of them are very good players of spin, but where is their pace, really that very strong pace option, bowling option, as well as pace hitting option? आपने तुमने जो ये रहाणे के बारे में बोला, रहाणे was a very good player of pace, but
True.
now what do they do outside of Chepauk is something that we will need to wait and watch. But at the same time, looking into their strength, they have really made a squad for home, which I think will give them a lot of advantage. So yeah, I think
Great
that's my बहुत initial जो एक look है वही
look.
वैसे ही लग रहा है. हम्म.
बहुत ही एक्साइटिंग शो में एंड आई लव योर एनालिसिस क्योंकि यू ऑलवेज ट्राई टू ब्रिंग इन एस्पेक्ट्स व्हिच इज जनरली नॉट टॉक्ड अबाउट बाय द मेन स्ट्रीम एंड अभी जो तुमने बोला ना कि देखो हाँ एवरीबडी इज टॉकिंग कि देखो दे हैव पैक्ड अ ग्रेट स्पिन बॉलिंग अटैक जो कि बिल्कुल करेक्ट है लेकिन ये भी एनालाइज करना कि देखो हाउ वेल आर द बैट्समैन हु प्ले द पेस वर्सेस द स्पिन ये एक एंगल था व्हिच इज वेरी यूनिक एंड यू हैव ब्रॉट इट अप फॉर आवर ऑडियंस व्हिच इज फैंटास्टिक तो अभी मैं क्या करता हूँ लेट मी जस्ट ट्राई टू पुल अप द CSK स्क्वाड ऑन द स्क्रीन एंड देन लेट अस हैव अ लुक एट इट एंड सी व्हाट आर आवर थॉट्स let me know when this is up. So, ठीक है. You can
Yes,
see the
yes,
screen,
yes, we
right?
can see it.
Okay.
Yes, 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 we can see.
See, awesome. So see on the left hand side, see, generally when I was trying to put this squad together, I was thinking batsman, all-rounder, bowler. लेकिन इतने सारे all-rounder थे कि that have to be put on the right hand side and then batsman and bowler are stacked together तो थोड़ा सा वो एस्पेक्ट है लेकिन पहले बैटिंग देखते हैं तो देखो ऋतुराज गायकवाड great pick most likely he is going to be the captain again Devon
He will be.
Conway
Yeah.
puts in lot of firepower right एट द टॉप उसके बाद मुझे लगता है कि राहुल त्रिपाठी होगा ही होगा आई थिंक इन टर्म्स ऑफ
I think
प्योर
it will be
बैट्समैन
Rahul
एंड बिकॉज
Tripathi or Hooda, either of them. I think they will be coming in, either of them.
they will be coming in and MS Dhoni of course. तो batsmen like the pure play batsmen जिनको categorize है मुझे लगता है ये चार interesting names हैं. And also look at it, MS Dhoni coming at 4 crores for that uncapped thing. I mean that's such a sweet deal for CSK which is awesome. तो ये बैटिंग है ठीक है बैटिंग आई थिंक ऑल राउंडर भी हमें देख लेने चाहिए क्योंकि लॉट ऑफ इट इज कमिंग फ्रॉम देयर सो जडेजा शिवम दुबे सो दिस इज सॉर्टेड बेस्ड अपॉन कि वो कितने प्राइस पॉइंट पे खरीदे गए हैं तो दैट इज व्हाई जडेजा कम्स अप देयर एट द टॉप at 18 crores तो मुझे लगता है वो काफी मैचेस खेलेगा शिवम दुबे ऑफ कोर्स ग्रेट पिक एट 12 crores अश्विन 9.75 Rachin Ravindra at 4 crores again a great retention I think he puts lot of
It was
batting
a right to match. Yeah.
firepower Right to match exactly और मुझे लगता है like he's a great pick. He is very comfortable against a spin but he can also take up the fast bowling. तो वो जो तुम बोल रही थी ना कि I think he might be the one who would be able to like ensure कि fast bowlers को भी he can play but he's very explosive against the spinners.
But do you
उसका
think that
साथ
Rachin Ravindra does he feature in your first 11 like
playing
to
11
start with? I mean I
he
feel
he
no.
does.
Yeah,
He
he
does. In
does.
mine, he does. So do you want to like jump onto that part right away? I can do that.
No, no, no. I
So
think I think let's go ahead. Yeah, no, no. Yep.
ठीक है.
So
तो
I
देखो
think what
ये
we wanted to make out of this is essentially that how balanced their squad is. They definitely have a very good batting depth. What's also interesting for me here is that if you see their first 11, who will probably be there, of course, uh, be it your Shivam Dube, be it your Jadeja, even as a matter of fact, MS Dhoni, they can actually adapt to the game very well. Now, these are the guys, especially, I mean, I know that MS Dhoni's position has not really been that seventh. He has always tried, I mean, in the last IPL, we have seen that he was actually coming much lower down.
yeah,
But then if you look into these guys, like, as a matter of fact, Ashwin, Shivam Dube, Jadeja, Huda, all of these guys, they can really adapt to the situation and they can either come in a little up the order. They can come in at that 3-4 kind of a position, or they can come in below. So which is very important in T20 cricket today, and especially in IPL, where you need that adaptability, you need that floater kind of batters who can come in and accordingly play the game. So that's where this batting unit plus their batting depth makes a lot of sense to me.
100%. And see, I'm just slightly pivoting from the batting side to the bowling side. And I wanted to point it out that, look, I mean, the options of the fast bowling all-rounder. So you have Sam Curran, you have Shivam Dube. So that adds it. Like when we are going to talk about bowling, that means that we have to keep in mind that fast bowling is being significantly appended by having these kind of an options to be out there. And of course, the spinners, when they go Ashwin, Jadeja, these are like really, really top class spinners as well. So both, I think their all-rounder part is very strong और वो काफी
You know what I'm very
हुए
excited
हैं.
about these guys, especially the pacers, is that many of them are coming in from either the Tamil Nadu state team or they were a part of TNPL. Like for example, I think Siddharth was they picked up Siddharth, right?
Not these guys,
Yeah,
no.
see
अच्छा.
Andre Siddharth,
Oh,
yeah.
see, yeah, correct,
Yeah,
correct.
so I think yeah, he was a batter. He was also one of the guys who was
Oh,
who had some good stint in TNPL. Then of course Gurjapneet. So he was also one of the
Gurjapneet,
guys. Yeah, he was also
yeah.
one of the guys who has been doing well in the state cricket for quite some time in the domestic circuit for some time. So I think he has been picked. So he's an interesting buy. Anshul Kamboj. Anshul Kamboj has recently got a 10 for. So very interesting buy there. And I usually get very excited about these kind of things that CSK does. That they either, of course, they have that age criteria. कि अगर तुम are you above 30, come to CSK. Okay. So that is one kind of thing that they do very well. But beyond that, also I think they usually do a lot of वो घर वापसी होम कमिंग वाला जो उनका सीन रहता है वो भी एक बहुत अच्छा करते हैं प्लस दे गिव अ लॉट ऑफ इम्पोर्टेंस टू द लोकल टैलेंट्स सो if I have to just take a a go back, be a little nostalgic about this. I mean, I was telling you yesterday about how Ashwin had actually initially got into the CSK squad, right, in 2008. He was he was picked up in the, I mean, he was not picked up in the auction. He was actually contacted much later, and then I think it was he was called to the CSK office where he did his signing, etc. And he was playing some local club tournament where of course he was already playing this one, the Dilip Trophy, etc. But still he was picked up in that kind of a manner, like he was a local guy, local star doing well, and then he was put up into the CSK squad. So very interesting approaches that CSK always does. They are, I mean, though we say MI is one family, I always felt that CSK is the
is
team
also a
which gives
family.
out
Yeah.
that family kind of a vibe. Uh, Very unlucky or very disheartening fact for Deepak Chahar that he missed out this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you just look
But
into his post, his wife's posts, everybody's posts, they kind of give that one vibe, one
one,
family
yeah, yeah,
with
yeah.
Dhoni as the father figure right up there.
True, true. And Dekho, another interesting fact here is that, Shomi, if you look at the uh, price point at which they got Gurjapneet, 2.2 crores. That means
Yeah,
that they eyed him. कि
yeah,
देखो, we are looking for this bowler, left arm fast medium, and similarly, like देखो ठीक है, I understand that they go for the older side of the guys, but like pick for this spinner, um, like Noor Ahmad, he's 19. He's 19 coming in, then Pathirana, he is like 21, 22. श्रीलंका में कोई पूछता नहीं है उसे. यहाँ पे he comes in, young guy, balls so well. तो मुझे लगता है ये बैलेंस है, मतलब थोड़ा स्टीरियोटाइप हो गया है सीएसके के साथ कि they always are a little biased towards the more experienced players, जो कि थोड़ा है, but there are some good balances. And what I was like, so suppose Anshul Kamboj ko they got at 3.4 crores. So
yeah.
that represents कि देखो, it's not like he just ended up being in CSK. So they thought about it, they eyed him, they reviewed his performance, and if and players like these come in CSK and grow in talent and get an opportunity to flourish. And Dhoni is a guy who knows how to nurture the talent and to really give great opportunities for some of these guys to flourish. तो
I think
बहुत
one of
ही हाँ
the it's a great point that you brought up actually. I mean, see one of the a couple of examples that come right into my head. एक तो है शिवम दुबे. शिवम दुबे का करियर कहाँ पे था? तो वो
हाँ
CSK जाने के बाद where it actually flew, how he actually
हाँ
turned out to be that guy in the middle order, which actually got him back to the India side, and see what it did for the T20 team, right?
हाँ
A very similar example is that of Tushar Deshpande. Tushar Deshpande has been quite an achiever in the Mumbai circuit. He has been consistently delivering for the Mumbai team in their first class endeavors. But then he got into the CSK squad. Of course, he was one of the guys who went for a lot of runs, but he also delivered very crucial performances. And
yeah
then, of course, this year he went to RR, but I think he would have had his moments as well. Very similar things for even Deepak Chahar. Deepak Chahar is unfortunate that he got so many shares of injury. He has been injury prone, and he have had those moments. But I think, yeah, their career graph, their learnings in CSK, what kind of a player they was before CSK and after CSK, I think incredible difference. And I'm really hopeful that that this entire trio of Ashwin, Jadeja, and Dhoni will again come back and do something extraordinary.
मैजिकल या नो एब्सोल्युटली ये तो हमेशा है ही और ये टू बी ऑनेस्ट लाइक आई लव सीएसके एंड धोनी इज इम्पोर्टेंट कंपोनेंट फॉर दैट टू हैपन तो वो है और जस्ट वन लास्ट थिंग व्हिच आई वांट टू ब्रिंग अप ऑन दिस स्लाइड शो मी इज द सेवन फॉरेन प्लेयर्स नॉट एट but they got seven which they wanted and I think out of these seven I see three to be almost always in my team and then I would have hoped to actually have five. But in my opinion, Conway is always going to be there. You would Rachin Ravindran would always going to be there in my team, and then uh, Pathirana. So these three are almost certain, and then Noor Ahmed and Sam Curran are my fourth and fifth. Noor Ahmed, when you're playing on a sprinting track, you might wish to have it. He performed so good in World Cup and otherwise. And then Sam Curran, because he brings in the all-rounder aspect of both a fast bowling all-rounder and a बैट्समैन तो वहां पे थोड़ा सा हो जाता है कि किसको रखें किसको छोड़ें और मुझे लगता है थोड़ा ऑप्शंस रहेगा लेकिन ये भी एक एस्पेक्ट में देखना चाहता था कि देखो फॉरेन प्लेयर्स आर एक्चुअली ओनली लिमिटेड टू 7 एंड दे डिडंट गो फॉर द फुल कोटा ऑफ हैविंग 8
No, I think, yeah, good. I mean, I don't know whether they will be having a lot of Sam Curran in the picture because he has not been really. I mean, the Sam Curran of the past and Sam Curran of today is a
हाँ
little different, of course. So I really don't know whether I don't believe that they will start off with Sam Curran. They will probably start off with Noor. And the way they really went behind him, it was very evident that they wanted that kind of a wrist spinner in the
yeah
side. So yeah, I mean, I think that's why Noor will definitely start off. But if at all the conditions favor way too much, or if they are really having that problem in the middle order, I think that's where Sam Curran can feature in. But I don't. He's definitely not a starter for me
yeah okay
because they have quite a few
interesting
options there. I mean,
they have
in terms of the pitch hitting, they do have
yeah
good options out there.
true, true.
Yep,
Okay, so that takes us to the next discussion point, which is about looking at the top 11. So this is, of course, my pick. I couldn't get a chance to connect with you beforehand to put your list as well.
that's
लेकिन
fine.
हम लोग
Yeah, yeah.
डिस्कस कर सकते हैं just on the go. तो मुझे लगता है देखो ऋतुराज गायकवाड कॉनवे तो श्योर है राहुल त्रिपाठी I'm putting him in I but ठीक है राहुल त्रिपाठी Rachin Ravindran for sure Shivam Dube Deepak Hooda so that's a lot of batting and keep an eye
Sorry.
on the right and left hand so
Yep.
Gaikwad right hand Conway left then Tripathi right Rachin Ravindran left hand Shivam Dube left hand Hooda right hand Jadeja left Dhoni right and Dhoni in my batting lineup is coming at number 8 so that is staggering ठीक है बट हो सकता है मुझे कुछ इसमें
No, I
ऑड नहीं
think
लगता बट
he anyway वो है वैसे भी 7 नंबर पे ही आ रहे थे and wherever
हाँ,
there
तब
was
बचा रहे थे,
a
हाँ,
tumble of wickets, he was anyway coming down only. So he
कमिंग
was
डाउन ओनली।
never coming
तो
up. Yeah, yeah.
वो है। फिर उसके बाद अश्विन, खलील अहमद एंड पातिराना, एंड देन impact sub, or just like I wanted to throw in the 12th name, but I ended up throwing two names. It's technically 13. I was a little greedy there. So Noor Ahmed and Sam Curran, based upon how there's a requirement to have some replacements in the team. तो मुझे लगता है मोटा मोटा ये टीम होगी. And if there's an injury, so that means that the fast bowling responsibility lies to a great extent to Patirana and Khalil Ahmed, with the support of Shivam Dube, and that's it. And then spin में तो जडेजा है, अश्विन है, you have Rachin Ravindra, then Deepak Hooda can bowl a little bit, and yeah, so bunch of options out there. Now, this is a very formidable side, and if they are playing in say Chepauk, then getting in Noor Ahmed would be interesting. लेकिन किसको हटाओगे ये थोड़ा tricky है. तो
नहीं, इम्पैक्ट सब आ जाएगा ना
इम्पैक्ट
वहां
सब,
पे,
हाँ,
तो
इम्पैक्ट सब आ जाएगा,
इम्पैक्ट सब आ
हाँ,
जाएगा।
इम्पैक्ट सब आ जाएगा, तो मुझे लगता है वहां पे नूर अहमद कैन रियली कम इन एंड प्ले अ ग्रेट हैंड. तो थिंक अबाउट इट, अ वेरी solid batting lineup appended by the all-rounders, and then a very good overall spin attack with a decent fast bowling attack. So nothing out of the way on the fast bowling, but formidable enough. But spinning में they would kill it. They would nail it. तो वही है ना जो some I was listening to Crick Buzz, Harsha Bogle was making a point कि देखो in Chepauk, like you would target to win 5 out of 7 matches. वो वाला discussion है where the spinners come in and can attack and can make the
home
impact.
advantage. I think home advantage. Their team is built for home advantage, and hence they will go for the kill. I pretty much agree with your playing 11. Ruturaj and Devon Conway, they have been pretty set up there. Rahul Tripathi at number three, good pin, good hitting out there. Rachin Ravindra slash a bowler. I mean, that's something that will depend on the conditions. But yeah, again, Shivam Dube, good hitter. Deepak Hooda is a very good hitter, very good utility player out there. Uh, Jaddu can hit on good days. Ashwin also can act as that floater. He can come in anywhere in that batting
Anyway,
lineup.
yeah.
MS Dhoni, I would wait and watch and about how his fitness turns out to be. Uh, Really looking forward to see how Khalil Ahmed turns out in this particular season, because he has just come back from Australia being injured. So I hope he recovers and it's nothing major. Uh, but yeah, beyond that, I pretty much agree with the playing 11. And yes, as an RCB fan, I I'm not scared, but yeah, I think they look pretty formidable, and we have got a lot of bad blood with CSK, courtesy the last 2023 IPL, in which we kind
Yeah.
of got them out of the tournament. But yeah, this looks like a good one.
This looks like a good one. True. देखो, मेरा main concern is Deepak Hooda. I'm not sure how is like how good a form he would be in, or how much impact can he make. थोड़ा वहां पे मेरे मन में question mark है. And if Khalil
He's a
Ahmed did not,
very good utility player. Yeah, I mean, the amount, what is the amount of money they've spent on Deepak Hooda?
on the Deepak Hooda, they have put in
It's a very good. It's a
1.7.
1.7,
Decent.
and even they
तो
have Vijay Shankar. So I think Vijay Shankar also can hit. So I
वही
think it's
बात है,
fine
विजय
there.
शंकर भी थोड़ा सा क्वेश्चन मार्क है कि हाउ गुड ही वुड बी देयर एज वेल, बट ही ब्रिंग्स इन द राइट,
But I
सो द
think Deepak
पेस.
Hooda is a substitute in terms of is an alternate for Rahul Tripathi up in the top.
ट्रू. तो वो भी एक चीज थी, तो दैट्स व्हाट आई वाज जस्ट थिंकिंग, दैट राहुल त्रिपाठी एंड दीपक हुडा, तो इट क्रिएट्स अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर समबडी एल्स टू कम इन एज वेल. लेकिन अभी के लिए मुझे लग रहा था प्रोबेबली दिस इज द मोस्ट फॉर्मिडेबल, एंड ऑफ कोर्स एज द टूर्नामेंट
It's a good
शेप्स अप
starter
तो
team.
उसके
Yeah, yeah,
हिसाब
yeah,
से
yeah, yeah.
चेंज होगा. ठीक है. सो
Exactly.
शो मी एवरी टाइम वी ट्राई टू डू समथिंग यूनिक ऑन अ चैनल टू ब्रिंग आउट अ न्यूअर पर्सपेक्टिव. And what I did next was to really put up 2024 ki team, which played the last match against RCB, which they lost, and see how did that team look against this team. So that's going to come up next, and this I think should give us a good sense of, like, honestly, what I would wish to do is to kind of have some kind of a quantification key out of 1 to 10. How much points are you going to give to 2024 team, or abhi ki team ko kya doge? So just to get a little bit of quantitative sense ki where does it all go? But look at the right side. Daryl Mitchell, Ajinkya Rahane, and we have a benefit of the hindsight. So we knew that how great Rahane was. So वो भी थोड़ा सा हमारे पास benefit है, and that makes it a little uh, unbalanced comparison. But that was great. Satner, then Shardul Thakur played a role of a little bit like Vijay Shankar could be this time. तो वो एक interesting है. लेकिन the fast bowling really fell short, I think, because uh, uh, Patirana has to
Also, it was
go back
Chinnaswamy.
there.
This was Chinnaswamy, right? This last game was
This
in Chinnaswamy.
And I think Patirana
Was
had
it?
to go back to Sri Lanka, or there was some
Yeah, yeah.
kind of a
And
thing
also,
for
no,
which he
the
was
the
not
thing is that
available.
this was also, see, I will also give the conditions a lot of importance in this particular case. Also, the fact that RCB was coming from a good amount of a winning streak, and they were literally in that phase where they were on riding on a good
Zone.
horse,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So now, considering that, and also considering that they were playing at Chinnaswamy, uh, you will have to give it to the bowlers that it's very difficult for the bowlers to really defend runs in that particular stadium. So we will not make a lot out of the bowling, except for unless you have somebody like Yuzvendra Chahal bowling on that surface. But here, if you look into the batting options, I think they have a very, very pretty much similar side, except for, of course, Mitchell Santner there, who in between got some good bowling up. They had him as a good bowling option, and also as a good pinch hitting option. But I think they have a very much a pretty much a similar side. They have done it's not a maybe a like to like replacement, but still, uh, what's very enticing for me here is that even in this side everybody knew what their role kind of was. And even in this side, if you look into the current side, they have very clear demarcations of what everybody's role will be. So I think that gives a lot of clarity uh, for the players, and this has been one of the key features of CSK going through years. So from that point of view, I feel they are pretty well matched.
Good. ठीक है, that is interesting. So the question
What is
comes,
your
I'm going to
POV?
do a little bit
Do
of
you do
so
you have
my
a
point
same?
of view is that कि थोड़ा मुझे लग रहा है कि देखो पहले की बैटिंग was better again because of the benefit of the hindsight. तो मुझे लगता है कि Daryl Mitchell, Rahane, Satner put together looks much or not much but stronger as compared to having Rahul Tripathi, Hooda and Conway. तो मुझे लगता है कि वो थोड़ा अगर और बाकी प्लेयर्स आर प्रीटी मच सेम तो मुझे लगता है वहाँ पे द बैटिंग वुड हैव एन एज। स्पिनिंग में अगेन दिस इज़ वेरी मैच स्पेसिफिक थिंग बट
See,
मुझे
because they
लगता है
could not get
स्पिनर्स
Conway last year. Conway was not there
ट्रू,
last year because he was injured,
ट्रू,
right?
ट्रू, ट्रू,
And
ट्रू
उसके
और
पहले वाले IPL में Conway was absolutely destructive. I think he got a very, I mean, I can't recall some एक 50 या 100 मारा था, बहुत ही
या
तगड़ा ऐसा, if I
हुँ।
recall.
हाँ, तो लेकिन
तो
फिर भी लाइक अगर
yeah,
if I compare it with like Conway, Tripathi, and Huda versus Mitchell, Rahane, and Santner, I'll give it a little bit more to the last time's team. If I look at the fast bowling, I think this year's fast bowling looks very good as compared to what played in the last match. So वहाँ पे I think there's a significant difference. And then the spinning में we have thrown in Ashwin here. Ashwin wasn't playing in the last match, but he could have very well. तो वो almost similar ही है. I would just rate it almost same. तो ये है मेरा overall comparison. So again,
I have
batting
a I
थोड़ा
have a
कम
I have हाँ नहीं,
different.
मेरे
हाँ
मेरा
बोलो बोलो.
different POV है इसमें. See, just the addition of Ravichandran Ashwin can be that X factor for CSK. I tell this because number one, of course, this is Chennai. Ashwin is playing in his home ground. He has been stellar in the last TNPL. He's the TNPL winning captain. So, uh, and I think Ashwin is one guy who's just becoming he's just becoming finer with age. And you take this Ashwin back to Chennai, I think he will be an absolute X factor of the class of what your Rishabh Pant offers in his various teams. So I have a lot of positive feeling coming in from Ashwin.
गुड, गुड, ठीक है। तो अभी क्या करते हैं ना, लेट अस डू अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ क्वांटिफिकेशन। सो यू गो फर्स्ट। I've created three categories: batting, spin, and fast bowling. And give me a score for 2024 for these three categories in a scale of 1 to 10?
I think spin, I would guess, give it a 10, a good 10. Spin
Last
bowling,
year?
bat,
Last year?
yeah, I don't recall yaar fully, but let's stick to this year.
ठीक है। तो कंपेयर कैसे करेंगे? वही तो डिफरेंस है ना कि ऐसे तो क्वालिटेटिव डिस्कशन करके छोड़ दिया, लेकिन अगर थोड़ा उसमें नंबर डालेंगे ना, तो दिमाग पे भी ज़ोर पड़ेगा कि सोचेंगे कि 10 था कि 9 था कि 8 था, तो वो न्यूआंस
Yeah,
निकल के आएगा।
honestly, last year ka, because this is also a googly question you're throwing at me. I don't recall the full last year ka squad. All I can recall is everything on a very qualitative basis only, because I recall how I felt through the games. Right, I don't
ठीक है, थ्रो
recall
अ
the
नंबर.
numbers.
सो इफ यू
Right,
रियली थिंक स्पिन वाज़ 10, गो अहेड एंड गिव इट 10. आई मीन
spin
कुछ
this time is 10. This time for sure
ठीक है,
spin is 10.
10
Last year
ठीक है.
also, if you look into the composition, if I may broadly remember, uh, it wasn't a bad spinning attack as well. And even if you look into just the playing 11 here, it's not a bad spin attack at all.
लेकिन
But
10 तो
what
नहीं होगा राइट?
went
इस
wrong
साल
for,
अगर 10, हाँ, लेकिन इस वो
यार
लास्ट
याद
ईयर
नहीं है
10 तो तुम
composition
नहीं
पूरा,
दोगे ना?
हाँ,
अच्छा, पर ठीक है, पिक अ नंबर.
नहीं
लाइक
याद
इफ यू
है,
थिंक इट्स 10,
ठीक है.
अगर 9 तो 9, 8 to 8, बट
I
पिक अ
think I
नंबर
think
एंड
I would keep it at an equivalent. I would say if
10.
this is a 10, that is
ग्रेट,
also a 10. But I
ठीक
will
है.
also put a caveat to that, and that is कि last year what didn't work for CSK spin option so well was Chepauk didn't behave like it generally does, and hence their spin options fall flat on face. Uh, so that's where it is. I think that's why if we look into the performances, it will not be a telltale. But if you look into just the composition on paper, it will give a very different opinion. It will create a
तो
different
देखो,
opinion.
ये तो वेरिएबिलिटी इस बार भी रहेगी कि हमें नहीं पता चेपक की पिच कैसी बिहेव करेगी, तो उस एस्पेक्ट को रहने देते हैं, बट अगर ऑन पेपर भी देखें तो ठीक है, 10 आई विल
On
एग्री कि
paper,
पहले भी 10 थी,
comparative.
अभी भी
Yeah, yeah,
10
yeah.
थी. हाउ अबाउट द बैटिंग?
Batting, I would give a slightly edge over for the last year's team. If
ठीक
last
है.
year's team was probably a good 8, this time it will be a good 6.5. And that is only
वाओ.
probably because of the fact that last year they did have some, as I mentioned before, they did have some options of players who can also be a little bit more good with pace. This time it looks like a very spin heavy, spin batter friendly kind of a situation. uh, but yeah, also the fact that the addition for me, I mean, of course, for me, Devon Conway is one of those CSK guys who has been contributing for a very long time, and him coming back into the side, I think that will add a lot of value.
ठीक है, जस्ट टू थ्रो द स्पैनर इन शोमी एंड डोंट हेट मी फॉर दिस, बट ये है कि देखो ये जो स्कोरिंग है ना, कीप इट नॉर्मलाइज्ड अक्रॉस द टीम्स, क्योंकि अंत में जब व्हेन वी हैव रिव्यूड ऑल द 10 टीम्स, आई एम गोइंग टू पुट अ टेबल एंड से कि देखो शोमी ने इस टीम को इतना रेट किया और इस टीम को इतना रेट किया बेस्ड
But
अपॉन
that will
दिस
always be,
आउटकम.
हाँ, तो
तो
I think
सोच
फिर हमें, हाँ, I know that, but the thing is that कि then we will have probably also have a lot of once we like look into the other teams very deeply, तो तब हमारा मन भी थोड़ा सा change होगा, then we will again reevaluate
अगेन
these numbers, because
ठीक है,
then that we will have a baseline for that.
ठीक है. फास्ट बॉलिंग
Fast bowling would be a 5. Yeah, a 5
दिस ईयर, लास्ट ईयर?
this year. Last year, see, I'm a huge Lord Thakur fan, so I know he hasn't delivered a lot, but since I love him, I would give them a 7, like a 6.57 last year. This time it's a 5.
वाओ! ठीक है, चलो मैं 7 डाल रहा हूँ. ठीक है, सो दैट दैट मेक्स इट इंटरेस्टिंग. अगर क्विकली टोटल करते हैं तो इस बार 10, 16, 17, 21.5 इस बार का स्कोर है तुम्हारा, एंड 18, 20. इंटरेस्टिंग. मैं टोटल नहीं बताऊँगा, आई विल जस्ट टेल यू अपना. ठीक है, तो माय थॉट प्रोसेस इज़ दैट ऑन द बैटिंग, दिस टाइम they would be 7, and last
Hmm?
year they were 8.5. In
Hmm.
spin, I think this time they are absolutely 10, And last year, I would rate them 8.5 again. I think thoda I'm taking a factor ki Noor Ahmed comes in and Ashwin is there, so that really calls for 10 this time, and it can't be that strong last time. And fast bowling में मैं इस बार दूंगा 7 and last time दूंगा 6.5. So my total comes up here as wait a second.
But you know what is something that that might change these things on the ground, of
हो
course.
गई हो
That
गई
we, हाँ हाँ,
हो गई
होगा, हाँ,
absolutely हाँ
होगा. For example, the Simajit guy was such an unknown commodity, and then he came and absolutely created wreck. And I'm
yeah
hoping something similar from these uncapped guys. I mean, I'm a huge fan of how these uncapped guys actually turn out to be. Last year, we have
yeah
seen so many examples. We have seen Mayank Yadav, we have seen Nitish Reddy, we've seen such people get unraveled in
yeah
IPL. And
yeah
of course, some of these guys we have seen, like for example, Mayank Yadav. I clearly remember seeing him like in some. I think it was one of the Dilip Trophy games or somewhere where he just like he bowled a, like a maybe at 150, like 150 odd, and he took off. MP के सामने शायद गेम था और मिडिल स्टंप उड़ा दिया था और वो बिल्कुल टूट गया था बीच में से. I think some of these guys have some precedence, but seeing them in IPL, I think it'll be a completely different experience.
true absolutely that makes perfect sense. So बहुत ही
ठीक है.
interesting numbers
तो
यहाँ पे दिख रहे हैं शोमी मुझे. Like your if I sum up your batting, spin and bowling last year, CSK you rated as 25 points out of 30, and this time it is 21.5.
ओके.
So वो एक इंटरेस्टिंग बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग पॉइंट है. और मेरे लिए इस बार इट इज 24 एंड लास्ट ईयर इट वाज 23.5. तो जस्ट अ लिटिल बेटर. तो ये बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है. अभी थोड़ा मन बदलेगा, थोड़ा-सा हम लोग इसको ध्यान रखेंगे. एंड आई जस्ट पुट यू ऑन स्पॉट ऑन दिस वन, सो अपॉलजीज़ फॉर दैट. देखते हैं लेकिन कैसे कैसे शेप अप होता है, थोड़ा हमें भी लगेगा कि हमने कितना अच्छा काम किया है इसको सोचने का.
हाँ, आई थिंक लेट्स जस्ट ये देखना पड़ेगा हमको थोड़ा, क्योंकि कितना
देखना
यार मुझे ना
पड़ेगा.
कभी-कभी लगता है कि आईपीएल इज नॉट सच अ ऑल राउंडेड टूर्नामेंट ऑनेस्टली. व्हाट डू यू फील?
इट्स नॉट.
इट्स नॉट.
इट्स नॉट अ ऑल राउंडेड. हाउ कम? थोड़ा एक्सप्लेन करो. आई डिडन्ट गेट इट.
So it is not that this will having three equally good departments will fetch you brownie points. Not necessarily.
नो, नो, नॉट एट ऑल, नॉट एट ऑल.
Yeah,
तो
it's
देखो
not
वो
at all.
तो
So
हाँ, है ही क्योंकि एट द एंड ऑफ द डे लाइक डिपेंड करता है बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स पे. एंड देखो वही है ना कि एज कमिंग बैक टू माय इनिशियल पॉइंट दैट द प्लेयर इन सीएसके इज वेरी डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द प्लेयर आउटसाइड. तो वो फैक्टर आता है कि कौन कैसे चमक के निकलेगा, कौन कैसे चेंज करेगा, पिच कंडीशन क्या है. अभी हम स्पिन देख रहे हैं, हो सकता है स्पिन माइट
और
जस्ट बी
सिर्फ
अ मूट पॉइंट.
2 महीने
तो
का 2 महीने का बड़ा
2
टूर्नामेंट है.
महीने का बड़ा
आपका हाँ,
टूर्नामेंट है,
तो इतना
इंजरीज कैन
पिच
हैपन.
डिटोरिएट करता है.
ट्रू. इन एंड इंजरीज इज अ फैक्टर. फिर कौन अवेलेबल है, कौन अवेलेबल नहीं है. तो बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स कम इन एंड दैट एक्चुअली मेक्स इट इंटरेस्टिंग. बट आई एग्री टू योर पॉइंट कि आप कि
Yes.
थोड़ा ऐसा नहीं है. तो
But yeah,
गुड.
over and above your top 4 contenders, CSK?
सीएसके के टॉप 4 कंटेंडर्स इन टर्म्स
No,
ऑफ
your top 4
परफॉर्मेंस.
contender, like is it are they making the playoffs as per you?
See, I can't ever say no for CSK. So for me, they are always there in top 4, always. लेकिन इस बार बहुत ही डिफिकल्ट होगा. आई थिंक सम ऑफ द अदर स्क्वाड्स लुक वेरी स्ट्रांग एज़ वेल. तो थोड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग रहेगा. बट मुझे लगता है सीएसके द वे दे आर एंड हाउ दे थिंक अबाउट इट एंड कितना इंटेलिजेंस व्हिच गोज़ एट द बैकग्राउंड विद धोनीज़ एक्सपीरियंस एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट. तो वो सब डिफरेंस डालेगा. लेकिन सी लास्ट टाइम आल्सो दे जस्ट लाइक they were just there and they couldn't eventually make it. तो वो एक फैक्टर है कि अगर टीम्स तुम्हें लग रहा है कि दिस इज लिटिल लेसर देन द लास्ट टाइम, सो मुझे लग रहा है थोड़ा बेटर है, तो इसका मतलब ये है कि दे आर नॉट ड्रास्टिकली डिफरेंट. तो
Yeah.
चैलेंजिंग होगा. बट आई वुड ऑलवेज काउंट देम इन द टॉप 4 ऑलवेज.
Yep. Great.
ठीक है.
Chalo, let's move ahead.
Great. Yes, yes, yes. Let's move ahead. This is awesome. And ये है ठीक है. So good, great analysis. We will, yep. So yep. Okay. So let's connect again for the RCB. I'll just pause the recording here and then come
Okay.
back and record the RCB again.
Okay. ठीक है,
So
ठीक है.
okay. Talk to you soon, Chomi.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye.